Hello, everybody. Hello. What is going on, everyone? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. I know today is a momentous occasion. Many people are super excited, including me. For today, ladies and gentlemen, is the first major double release day of 2020. That's right, guys. Today, we play not one but two new releases back to back on the streams. Pretty excited for this, obviously, because the first game that we're going to be playing today, it's a game that we've been waiting for a long time. A game that was supposed to come out last year and ended up getting pushed back. Doom Eternal. Yes, Doom 2016 blew everyone away with how damn good it was, taking the old school formula of Doom and putting it into a modern gaming environment. Was a pretty amazing undertaking. And seriously, it went really well. Okay? So, very excited for Doom Eternal. Really looking forward to Doom Eternal today. 3 to 4 hours premiering here. And from what I'm going to understand, the game is going to be fast-paced, visceral, in-your-face, first-person shooter action. Now, I recently played Doom 2 to kind of, prepare for this. And man, is Doom 2 tough. I'd never played through Doom 2 before. I'd only played through Doom 1 and I think it was Ultimate Doom. So it was pretty fun to do so, but at the same time, that was a hell of a game. Doom Eternal, I'm not thinking is going to be that tough. At the same time, obviously it's going to be very different with tons of new modernized gameplay mechanics and the like. So it should be pretty fun. Looking forward to this. I've actually been saying this is one of my most anticipated games of the year. It was one of my most anticipated games of last year until it got, bumped. Okay. So this should be fun. I'm very excited. Hope you guys are too. Later tonight, it's Animal Crossing New Horizons on the late stream. Now, admittedly, I'm actually excited for this too because I've never played an Animal Crossing game before. As you know, we now do different kinds of chill streams. And people basically said, now that you do chill streams, Animal Crossing should be right up your alley because it really is that really hyper-relaxing style game. It's exactly what you're looking for. If you're just looking for something to play and just chill and have a good interactions with your audience, well, it doesn't really matter. There's no hyper-focus on the gameplay or whatever. That's the kind of game that you want to play. But I've never played Animal Crossing at all. It'll be my first exposure to the franchise. And it's a Switch exclusive, which is neat. Okay, so we're checking that out tonight. That should be pretty fun. Tomorrow we're doing more of the same. It's going to be exact same schedule tomorrow with Doom and Animal Crossing. 2 double days of new releases. Okay? On Sunday we're going to take a little bit of a break from the new releases. Just for the sake of variety. And we're going to go back to Nioh 2 for a major stream. I'm actually in the middle of a story-based mission in Nioh 2 right now. And then it's going to be Morrowind. Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. No, yeah, that's correct. I got it confused in my head. Yeah, it's definitely Morrowind Sunday night. And then on Monday, we'll probably go back to Doom Eternal and my weekly Minecraft stream. I'm off on Tuesday. That's my day off from streaming this week. But I'll be back on Wednesday. And what will I be doing on Wednesday? Well, more than likely it's going to be more Doom Eternal. I'm not going to lie. Doom is probably going to be consuming me this next week. I'm really going to be wanting to play a lot of it. So we'll see. But probably Doom. And then Wednesday night, since I played it this last week and you guys seem to like it, I'm going to take another shot at Call of Duty Warzone on the late stream. Okay? Thursday, I'm probably going to play more Nioh 2. And what I'm thinking for Thursday night stream coming up is I'm going to try the multiplayer of Doom. Because at that point, I'll have been pretty sufficiently far into the campaign of Doom. And I know that Doom Eternal has a multiplayer mode. I actually liked the multiplayer of Doom 2016. It was very fast-paced, and it reminded me of the old-school style FPS shooters of the 90s and early 2000s. So, yeah, more than likely, probably Thursday night, I'll probably give the multiplayer of Doom Eternal a shot and see what that's like. All right, and then on Friday, probably more Doom Eternal or Mass Effect at that point, because the thing is, I don't want to give Mass Effect too much of a time away. We're nearing the end of the Mass Effect 2 run. We got, basically major story, one final character, and then the conclusion left. So I'm actually thinking between 1 to 2 more streams, I'll beat Mass Effect 2, and that way it'll be done with, and we just focus on new releases, which would be great. So what I think I'll do is at some point in there, maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're going to do one major stream of Mass Effect 2. Just so we can get further in the game and get near the end of it and finish the playthrough sooner rather than later. Okay? So we'll see. Maybe we'll do Mass Effect 2 that Friday, and then that Friday night will be my usual throwback Street Fighter stream. And then over the weekend, more than likely we'll do more Animal Crossing. I'll probably do like Animal Crossing either Saturday, Sunday or something like that, because I want to play Animal Crossing at least twice a week moving forward. Probably what it's going to end up being is, one stream of Minecraft, one stream of Throwback Street Fighter, one stream of Morrowind, 2 streams of Animal Crossing, and then maybe a random stream like this Doom Eternal multiplayer stream or whatever. Okay? It's kind of what I'm thinking. But we'll see, because you got Warzone in there too. So there's so much going on. See, there's just so much going on in the realm of gaming right now that I'm actually strapped for time. Like, I don't know when I'm going to even cover each thing, which is pretty crazy. But it is what it is. I'm going to do my best to cover all these new releases and show you all the modes of every release and everything, and not let anything fall behind. Now, the good news is, okay, the next major new release coming out, guys, is going to be April 3rd, and that's going to be Resident Evil 2 Remastered. So essentially, we've got 2 weeks to focus on Doom, to focus on Neo 2, and to try to wrap up Mass Effect 2. My goal is to try to finish Mass Effect 2 and get, pretty far in one of the games, more than likely Doom Eternal, because I'm probably going to like it more than everything else, by the time that Resident Evil 3 Remaster comes out. So hopefully we can wrap up 1 or 2 of these playthroughs. That's great, because then we can focus in on the new stuff coming out in April and not have to worry about, oh no, now I've got 3, 4, 5 playthroughs being juggled. That would be way too much. Okay? So that's my plan. Okay? Hopefully it works out. Hopefully that works out well, and the play, and everything, goes according to this plan. It might not. We'll see what happens. Keep in mind there's other stuff too coming out. Like there's a Control DLC coming out next week, and quite frankly, I am not really focused on that at all. I'm going to be focused on the hype new releases. And do I want to play the Control DLC? Yes, I do. I bought the season pass last year, and I want to see the continuation of the story, because the story kind of ended without many explanations. But I realize that it's going to be people wanting to see me play the new stuff. Way more, emphasis on that than going to a Control DLC at this point. So maybe the Control DLC could be saved for another time when things are slower or whatever, right? All right, so that's the rough schedule for the next week to 2 weeks, guys. Thank you to those who have been nominating games for the upcoming Viewer's Choice event. Please continue to do so. You can either type !Viewer's Choice into the stream chat, or you can just wait every 20 minutes or so. A link will pop up. You can click on. That's going to be going for about 1 more week. Okay? 1 more week of, nominations before that event will then become a poll that you guys will vote on to determine what game will be the Viewer's Choice event coming up. All right? Reminder that if we do hit the Tier 2 sub goal by the end of this month, that means 2 games, the top 2 games in the upcoming poll, will be played as full playthroughs. We are a far cry from hitting that goal with 100 subs away, but who knows? With this next week, with these new games, coming out, maybe we'll build up some hype. Maybe some people who've been holding off to sub will subscribe. Maybe some people will feel generous and give some subs, and we'll hit that sub goal. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, just wanted to throw that out there, okay? All right, so good stuff all around. Now, outside of all the nice, fun gaming stuff, excuse me, I just want to talk a little bit more, obviously, about what's going on in the real world, because we're not going to really talk much about it once the gameplay starts. But I hope everyone out there is safe. I hope everyone out there is taking precautions, and I hope that everyone out there is doing all right. I know that many of us are on lockdown. I am. We're basically only allowed to go out for essentials. Like if you need to go out and go grocery shopping or, buy something for the household that's important, we have to. But most optional businesses have closed, including a lot of clothing stores, and, basically anything that doesn't sell like essential products for survival during this time is closed. Restaurants are only takeout. That's it, or delivery. You cannot eat inside of a restaurant. You know, it's all on lockdown. And the whole country seems to be following suit. But it's kind of funny because there's a couple things going on that are ridiculous. First of all, GameStop. Yes, that's right. Pretty much the only remaining physical games retailer has taken it upon themselves to decide that they're essential retail that should stay open during the coronavirus outbreak. I want you to think about that for a second. A store where you can get every single game inside of it digitally now over the internet thinks that they need to stay open to sell physical copies of games. That's pretty stupid, huh? Essentially, I don't know why this is going on, and people are speculating it's because they're already in such dire financial straits that if they were to shut down at any capacity for any amount of time, that they would go out of business. They would have to declare bankruptcy and more than likely end up going out of business totally. That they were already like at the precipice of surviving financially, and this would be the last, you know, the straw that broke the camel's back. And you know what? I hate to say it. That's pretty much it for them. Like, this is the thing that's going to end them. They barely survive as it is. You go into a GameStop today, and it's a junk store. They're selling all kinds of Funko Pops and T-shirts and fucking collectibles, and the game section's pushed to the back corner of the store, and no one really goes in there to buy many games anymore because there's no point. The prices aren't good. You know, the trade-in value is terrible. They have no business model anymore. They fell apart at the seams, and the management is so poor. They did nothing to prepare for the digital future, and now this is it. So I don't know what's going to happen with them. I don't know how they think they're going to stay open. I mean, easily law enforcement and the government could just tell them, fuck off, you're not essential, and you're closing because we said so. In which case, they can't do anything about it. But as of now, they're actually forcing their stores to remain open, and they're forcing their employees to come to work, despite the fact that literally no one's going to go to GameStop to pick up games. So to compound this issue and make matters even worse, okay, it was announced today that pretty much all upcoming game releases that are having physical copies are going to be delayed. What I mean by that is, for example, Final Fantasy VII Remaster. All right, that's coming out April 7th. Well, if you're getting it digitally, obviously you're fine. You're going to get it over the internet. It's going to show up on release day. But if you're getting a physical copy, well, the production is delayed because everyone's staying home because of the coronavirus. Therefore, you're not going to get your copy on release day if you were trying to get a physical copy. You're going to have to wait. Now, I want you to think, how many people are really going to do that? Gee, because I wanted the physical copy. I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to, fuck that. I'm not going to play it like everybody else. I'm just going to delay it. Yeah, right. That's not going to happen. So, essentially, the physical copy is going to be dead in the water. And why would you need to go to GameStop? See what I mean? If everyone's going to get the digital because of this going on, I really feel this is the end of the physical copies era of games. We're all going to be stuck at home for extended periods of time. We don't know how long. It could be a minimum of 2 weeks. It could be months. And I'm trying not to be a naysayer or, someone bringing doom and gloom here to you guys, but it could be months that we're on lockdown, guys. In fact, doctors are coming out and essentially saying, yeah, you do realize that staying home for 2 weeks is not going to solve the coronavirus. Like, this has to be something that's an extended period of time, or else it's not going to be effective. So why people are thinking it's only going to be like 1 or 2 weeks is just nuts. So, I hate to say it, but it seems like this may be the end of an era. Number one, the end of physical copies of games because no one's going to be able to even get them anymore. And number two, the end of GameStop as a retailer. I don't see them surviving when there's no reason to walk into their doors to buy a physical game anymore. Okay, guys? So that's my take on it. I'm trying to give you a spin on this whole thing from the gaming perspective because there's so much nastiness going on with the news of everything about this virus spreading outside of gaming that I really don't want to focus on that because it's pretty depressing. So there you go. Listen, I understand that many of you are collectors and you still like having your physical copies of games or whatever, but is it really worth it to go to GameStop and try to get a physical copy of a game that, number one, probably won't even be there anymore because they're not going to make them anymore, and number two, to risk getting the coronavirus? I mean, holy shit. I'll risk it to go out and buy groceries and get essentials. My 1 day off a week that I need to do it. I'm certainly not going to risk my fucking health and the health of people around me to go buy a fucking physical copy of a video game that I can get digitally the same exact game from home, right? So, anyway, that's what's going on right now. All right? Pretty crazy. All right. Alrighty, guys. So, that's the deal. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about before we move on. I don't think so. All right, let's continue, guys. Thank you very much for 11 awesome years that you've allowed me to be a content creator and share my gameplay experiences with you on a daily basis. I realize I'm one of the luckiest guys on planet Earth right now because, number one, I get to do what I love for a living. You know, my passion is gaming, and gaming is my job. Hanging out with you guys every day, putting on entertaining gaming streams is what I do. That's pretty crazy to think that, you know, that's what I get to do for a living, and I'm very grateful for that. And hell, let's be honest, number two, during this whole epidemic, I still get to work, which is insanely lucky, you know. It was a big sacrifice over the last 11 years of my life to basically change my life to kind of be the guy who's isolated playing games every day all day. But at the same time, in this insanely unlikely scenario that we're now living out, I still get to work. And I'm grateful for that too. You know, I'm happy that I'm still here every day to entertain you guys in a time when otherwise you may be stuck at home bored, wondering what the hell you're supposed to do because you can't work and you can't go out. Hopefully my streams entertain you guys some, and they have some purpose. Okay? Sounds good? Alrighty then. Now, all that being said, guys, today I am a full-time live streamer. You know, over the years, my content creation delivery has changed many times from being, you know, just a ton of little videos every day on YouTube to the guy who live streams and does YouTube videos. And now I'm just a full-time live streamer. All right? That's all I focus on. I'm here 6 days a week full-time minimum. Sometimes I'm here longer than that. Sometimes I do 8-day streaks, right? I upload all my gameplay videos over on DSPGaming, archives of my streams, so that if you guys cannot be here live, you can check them out when you get a chance. All right? I do that because I realize not everyone can be here live every day. Now, all that being said, I pretty much rely on your crowdfunding on the streams every single day to make ends meet. That's really how I raise funds to pay my bills, to afford the new games. I do want to say thank you guys. You were very generous this week to help me out to afford these two games. Thank you to everyone who stepped up and contributed and helped me to get Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing. Thanks a lot. It is your support, you know, during live streams that keeps me going. It pays the bills. It buys the games. It allows me to afford supplies for my life, right? All that is due to your crowdfunding efforts. So thanks to anyone who even considers contributing during a live stream to keep this going. That being said, all right, please understand that contributions, although they help tremendously and they do keep stuff going, are not mandatory on my streams. My streams are free here on twitch.tv. They always will be free. Nothing is expected, nor is nothing required contributions-wise on my stream. I believe it's going above and beyond being a stream viewer for you to actually contribute to my streams, and I appreciate that very much to those who do, okay? So, thank you to anyone who even considers contributing today. Please understand that I made YouTube videos for 2.5 years before I ever monetized anything, and I only monetized them eventually because I lost my office job and I was forced to. I didn't have any other source of income. If I lost my ability to live stream for money, you know what I mean, for profit, full-time, I would still do it in a reduced capacity at some point, even though I know it would probably be way less if I had to go out and get another job, but I would still do it. It's my passion. It's something that I love to do. Gaming is my lifelong hobby. That's why I'm here, because I actually have passion for what I do, not to make a paycheck. I hope you guys understand that, all right? So please know, I don't want anyone feeling like the odd man out because they cannot contribute today. That's not the point of my streams at all. I just want to have fun with you guys. Enjoy these new releases. Have a good time. That's the deal, okay? Now, if you can contribute, if you'd like to, then please, by all means, do, and let's talk about the ways that you can contribute. I have a Patreon over at patreon.com/darksidephil. This is a monthly pledge campaign where your pledges earn you personal perks as a way of saying thank you. All the data is right there listed on the site, so I'm not going to go into detail about it, but please give it a look, and thanks to anyone who, first of all, is an ongoing patron of mine, and thanks to anyone who's considering becoming a new one. I also have a Teespring store where I sell all kinds of merchandise. It's primarily t-shirts, but there's other things like hoodies, stickers, and mugs. Give that a look as well. Anything from buy from there gives me a little bit of a positive benefit, but you get a cool collectible out of it, so it's really nice. Now, if you're here on the live stream, chances are you're probably going to want to contribute so that you can get a live shout out or get some kind of interaction with me, and you get a little bit of recognition for your contribution. And you can do that if you either cheer with bits, if you subscribe to my channel, or if you tip me during the live stream, okay? So as long as your contribution message is in line with the rules of the stream and it doesn't try to insult anyone or derail the stream, I'm going to give you a live shout out as a way of saying thank you right here during the gameplay. Okay? Now there's also a stream stats leaderboard at the top of the screen. This tracks things like the top cheerer and top tippers of the day. That's another way to get recognized. In addition, there are 2 other leaderboards integrated into Twitch, which are the top cheerers of the week as well as the top sub-gifters of the week. And those also obviously track contributions, and I'll give shout outs to those people as well. So many ways to get recognized for your contributions, and I hope that you'll maybe consider it. Now, with all the things that I just described, you may be saying to yourself, what is the best ultimate way to contribute to Phil and help him out on his streams, because he just has so many ways to contribute, right? Well, the best way to contribute, matter of factly, would be by tipping me. The reason I say that is because when you tip me, those are funds I get immediately. Those are funds I can put towards important things now. So, for example, paying bills. I've got a tax bill I have to pay in the next week. Buying games. Coming up in April, there's going to be several games I have to play. Or, have to buy. Paying for the cost of internet. Paying for utilities. Paying for all that. All that stuff's coming up for me this month. Raising enough funds so I can go grocery shopping next week. There you go. All that stuff is what the tips goes towards. So, please consider tipping me if you can. All other contribution methods still help, and they are greatly appreciated. Okay? So, that being said, please consider, hold on a second, I got distracted. I did, I was in the middle of a sentence, and I got completely distracted. So what was I saying? I was talking about tipping. I was talking about how it helps. Oh, that's right. All other ways to contribute, like cheering, subbing, and tipping, they all help me. But there's a delay before I see positive benefit with those contribution methods. While if you tip me, I get immediate benefit. You see what I'm saying? So that's why tipping is preferred over the other contribution methods. Although, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth if you guys want to cheer, sub, or tip. Or, cheer or sub. That's also appreciated as well. Okay? Sorry, I got completely distracted there. Okay, so moving on. How do you tip? If you look below the stream, there's a tip star button you can click on. Or you can type !tip into the stream chat to bring up my PayPal tips page. Either way, you'll head right into the PayPal tips page. And there's different ways that you can tip. You can either use a registered PayPal account, which is the easiest method. Or if you don't have one or you don't want to create one, you can actually just use a major debit or credit card. Although, if you don't see that option readily available, you might have to go to the fully loaded desktop version of the site. All right, what you do is, if you're on a mobile device, you can say, oh, load the desktop version, or just jump on a desktop computer, and you should see those options available, okay? Fair enough? Okay, guys. Now, a public service announcement for all of you. If you are thinking of contributing on today's stream, please be careful about the public information you have out there that could be used against you. What I mean by that is many of us have social media out there that has so much information about us that we don't even realize. Things such as our friends and our family members, where we work, where we hang out. You know, this is basic information, but it could all be mobilized against us over the internet for very malicious purposes. And you might be saying, well, why would that happen? Why would someone come after me? Very simply because they can. In this modern day, this uncertain world, there's people out there who are just messed up in the head, and they get some kind of positive feeling out of it to know that they're anonymously hurting someone across the internet and they can get away with it. So, that being said, if you're considering contributing today, I strongly recommend, if you're going to tip me, do not use your real name or identity. Make something up. Say, I'm anonymous, or make up a name that has something to do with a game I'm playing today or something like that. That way no one can associate that contribution with you, and no one can come after you or harass you on the internet just because you contributed to a streamer, okay? I'm looking out for you guys. I want to be sure that you don't get any kind of online harassment as a result of, doing anything on the internet, which would be ludicrous, but it happens all the time, okay? All right, guys, let's talk about the rules of the stream. As a streamer here on Twitch.tv, I have to abide by all the rules and regulations of the business that they lay down for us. So please understand that. I know that I can't just say and do whatever I want on my stream. But in addition, I have my own set of rules, all right, that I feel maintains a special chill vibe on the stream. What I mean by that is when you come to my streams, I want you to feel relaxed. I want you to feel like you're having fun, you're having a good time, and really, you're escaping all of the stresses of real life while you're here. That being said, obviously, we all are super stressed right now with what's going on in the real world, right? We are. So please understand that, and please know that we're trying to keep that kind of negativity out of the streams. This is an escape for a lot of people, okay? So because of that, there's a few things that we're not going to be talking about on stream today. The topics of politics and religion are two topics that I found in the 11 plus years I've been a content creator really just derail streams, especially gameplay streams. Like, every time people start talking about that, everything gravitates towards that conversation. The conversation becomes nasty, negative, and toxic, and a lot of times people attacking each other and the like. And essentially, people stop paying attention to the game. I don't want that to happen. That's why we don't talk about politics or religion on my streams unless there is something in a game that's political or religious that is impertinent to the game, then that's fine. But in general, we don't derail the stream talking about that stuff, okay? Now, in addition to that, I've expanded this recently to say, listen, a lot of people are just so negatively affected right now by this coronavirus pandemic. The last thing we want to do is have people come here to try to escape that and watch a new game, and the next thing you know, oh, look, everyone here is talking about the pandemic. All right, I'm certainly not going to say, no, there's no way that we could discuss that on the stream. That would be ludicrous. It's the biggest thing going on in the world right now. But at the same time, we're all bombarded with talk about this everywhere outside of my streams. Let's try to keep it down to a minimum here. All right? Let's please not talk about it if we can avoid it. There's no reason to keep talking about it every 5 seconds. All it's going to do is make people upset. Okay, guys? Fair enough? All right, last but not least, I'm well aware that there's tons of people out there on the internet who are malicious, toxic douchebags. All they do is try to create controversy, conspiracy, drama, and essentially slander and defame me on a daily basis because they've found a way to get popularity by doing it. Either people watch their crap or they make money on their crap, okay? It's all horseshit, all right? It's something that if it was caught out of society, no one would give two shits and everything would move on positively without it. But sadly, people are all into drama and all kinds of horse shit. So people are able to do this to me on a daily basis. And because I'm not rich, I can't sue them all for defamation to end it. Therefore, since I'm well aware this all exists, there's no reason for us to discuss it at any length or detail on my streams. And it's against the rules to do so. I don't need to know what the latest thing said about me is. That's bullshit. I don't need to hear about who's insulting me or who's restreaming me illegally. I don't give a fuck about these fucking people. You know, they can all freaking go to hell. There you go. Doom Eternal. They can go to hell for all I care, because I'm going to continue on positively no matter what anyway. Okay? So please understand that, and please know it's against the rules to bring it up. I only bring it up very briefly on this pre-stream to you know it's against the rules to bring it up. And that's that. Sometimes we get people who come in here and honestly, don't know, and they'll say, oh, did you hear this guy saying it? I don't care. I don't care about any of that shit. It's against the rules, and understand you will be moderated appropriately if people keep bringing it up. Okay? Fair enough? Alrighty then. I just finished my Mio water. And now I'm switching over. To my my Stein of pure filtered water. That's right. No more bottle crunches for me, guys. This would be the time when I would actually bottle crunch. But no more bottle crunches, guys. Bottle crunches are now a thing of the past, right? We evolve and we move on. All right. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Alrighty, guys. So, it's time for us to move on to our third and final segment of the pre-stream, which is the shout-outs. I say thanks to everyone who's contributed. We update the leaderboards a bit, and then we get started. Fair enough? All right, so we actually start off with Mr. Papavera, who cheered at the very beginning of the stream and told me about the whole Final Fantasy VII situation. In fact, I'll read this out loud. He says, I saw a notice from the official Final Fantasy VII Remake Twitter account saying that due to the pandemic, physical shipments of the game will be delayed, but digital copies will still be on schedule. I feel bad for people that pre-ordered retail copies, so hopefully they can get an exchange for digital. I mean, I'm going to be honest here. I think we all saw the shift coming from physical copies to digital. We saw the big, advantage to getting the digital copies, preloading the game on your console so it's ready to go. The fact that these games pretty much typically all unlock at 9 p.m. Pacific time, midnight Eastern on a release day, and you don't have to physically go somewhere to pick them up. Let's face it, the only benefits to physical copies are, number one, you actually get a collector's item. I think the box and the disc are really much collector's items at this point. There's no purpose for them. And number two, you could trade it in, right? But trade-in values have become so minimal these days. Even getting a new game, typically trading it in within a week, you get less than $20 for it. It's not a viable concept anymore. When I was starting out on YouTube, those first few years, when I was doing this for a job, I would go and buy 3-4 new games in a week, beat 2 or 3 of them, trade them all in the next week, and I would get like $40, $50 back per game. That was crazy. It was like an extended rental more than buying the game, right? But today it's so minimal. The trade-in values are so shit that there's really no point to this whole business practice anymore. So I think we saw the writing on the wall that this was the end of an era and this was coming, and it's just this pandemic out of nowhere that is kind of, like I said, the nail in the coffin, the straw that's breaking the camel's back, and we're seeing the end of all that. So, so there you go. It is what it is, right? That sucks. Anyone who does get Final Fantasy VII physical, I recommend you just cancel your pre-order if you can and get it digital, man. And you're going to probably, let's face it, you're probably going to end up having to do this anyway. It's we have to stay home for an extended period of time, so you might as well just get everything digital like I've been doing for years, right? Okay, shout out to Snow Carl, who did a 50-bit cheer. This was technically the first cheer of the stream. And he says that Doodly Dread called him the F word earlier. Would seriously appreciate it if I timed him out, because insulting others is not okay. I'm really sorry to hear that you got called a fart knocker. That is one of the biggest insults you could be, called when you're like 4 years old. And everyone knows fart knockers. It's a serious thing. It's not something to be taken lightly. So I'm very sorry to hear this. But thank you very much, Snow Carl, for the first cheer of the stream. Let me get you up there on the leaderboard. Okay. All right. Captain K-Man 4201 resubscribed for 25 months. He says, happy 3/20/2020. Yeah, I guess it's March 20th, 2020. Thank you, Captain K-Man, for over 2 years of ongoing support on my streams. I appreciate that, man. Light-skinned Phil tipped me $1 and then said something racist. Well, there you go. What a nice person. So I'll say, thanks for the $1 tip, but they're certainly not putting you up on the leaderboard for something racist, you fucking idiot. Okay. Preach resubscribe to the channel for 3 months in a row, but 10 total. Thank you very much for that. Preach for the ongoing support. Retro Jim just did a 100-bit cheer. That's the biggest cheer of the day. So let me go ahead and get Retro Jim up here on the leaderboard as the top cheer of the day. All right, Retro Jim says, I'm glad eBay and the progression of digital purchases killed GameStop. Thankfully, they really dicked us over as kids with trade-ins. I mean, yeah. Unless, like I said, the only time that trade-ins were valuable at GameStop was when we got a new game and you traded it in within like a week of its release, and you traded it in during one of their special promotional periods where if you traded in like 3 or more games at a time, you would get like a bonus 15%. Because just trading in any game cold turkey at GameStop, you'd be lucky to get a third of the value of that game, even if you trade in right away after its release. But there were promotions, there were things that beefed up the value of trade-in games back in the day. So there you go. All right, let's continue. Thank you, Retro Jim, for the cheer. Philly Buckeye cheers. I don't see the problem if the employees want the hours. Lots of people are losing out on wages. I, for one, am happy my place of work is open, just a different perspective. Philly Buckeye, I totally understand what you're saying. Okay? People need to work. People need to make money. They need to pay their bills. They need to pay their rent. They need to pay everything, right? So that makes sense. But at the same time, you have to understand this is a global pandemic. You know what I mean? Yes, people need to go out and do essential things. I just said it. Essential things. Selling physical copies of video games when you could get them digitally just as easily online is not essential at all. And it is a risk. You're having added exposure. You know, Kat was actually telling me she's getting email after email of stores that are closing, all like cosmetic stores, makeup are closed. Clothing stores like Kohl's closed. And pretty much every major chain is closing. Now, the good news is some of these chains are in a good financial position to the point where they're saying, we're going to pay our workers. We're closing down for 2 weeks, but we're going to pay our workers during that 2-week window so that way they don't go with unpaid for 2 weeks. That's amazing. And if a company can do that, they absolutely should. That's the way to go about this. It's no one's fault that this is going on. And sorry to hear that your shareholders aren't going to get tons of fucking dividends this year. But tough shit, the people need to get paid. So it's nice that companies that can do that are doing that, okay? And I understand that not every company can do that. So some people who need to work and want to work to make the money because they need it to stay alive and pay their bills, that's great that they're getting that. But there has to be a point where we draw a line. I'm sorry, GameStop is that fucking line for me. GameStop does not need to be open at all. There's no essential function that GameStop serves. They don't even sell games anymore. They sell junk. So just in case you need your newest pop figure or a fucking character t-shirt during the fucking coronavirus pandemic, I guess your GameStop needs to stay open. Fuck that. What it is the company is on its last legs because of management doesn't know how to run a company. And they basically were only popular because of the boon of video games before the digital era. They did not adapt to the modern times. It's their own fault. Which is why the management at GameStop is like a revolving door at this point. They keep getting people in there who then leave right away because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't understand the industry. And they need to get the fuck out of here. Okay? They do. They need to get out of here. I'm sorry. It's the end of an era for GameStop. Unless they somehow change their business model, they're dead. It's their own fault. They don't need to be risking people's health by staying open during a global pandemic because they don't know how to run a fucking company. That's a sure sign your company needs to die. Sorry, that's just me being very, very honest. And some people will disagree with me, and that's perfectly fine, but that is my opinion. All right, continuing on. Virus, Timmy $3. He's a great time to get a 9 to 5. The virus is suspending bankruptcy proceedings. Actually, there's no way I could get a 9 to 5 because the 9 to 5s aren't hiring, dude. Like, that's kind of the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You think this is a good time to go try to get a 9 to 5 job? You're an idiot. You want to know who's hiring right now? Amazon in their warehouses, okay, because people are ordering everything online. That's it. And of course, food delivery services. That's it. No one else is hiring, dummy. Yes, let's try to get a 9 to 5 job during a fucking recession because of a global pandemic. You, sir, are a moron. And I hit the button too goddamn early, but you're a moron. But thanks for the $3 tip, stupid. Okay, then. Let's continue on, shall we? I hit the button too early. I ruined it. Okay, Snow Carl Cheers says you could very quickly and matter-of-factly outline how you plan your groceries for a week in advance and maximize cost efficiency. My veggies and meat never last that long, so I'm shopping every day. Every day? You shop every day? You got problems. I mean, vegetables last at least a week if you refrigerate them properly. What are you doing? I don't know. That's weird. All right. When I go grocery shopping, when I come home, the first thing I do when I come home, I unpack all the groceries. If it's something that needs to hit the freezer, it gets in the freezer immediately. And the vegetables get washed and prepared immediately. So, for example, this week we're making a recipe that needed red peppers. I stood there for 10-15 minutes washing, chopping, and then putting them into like a, airtight, like a Tupperware style container. What do they call that? Like a Ziploc container, Tupperware container, and put it in the fridge. Those peppers will be good for weeks because I prepare them immediately and I get them in an airtight environment and I refrigerate them. What vegetables are you buying that are going rotten in like a day? And meat? Very simple. Meat, if you're going to eat it within the next 1 to 2 days, you keep it in your refrigerator. If not, You freeze it, and you thaw it when you're going to use it. You know, I shop once a week, and I have meals set for the entire week, if not some days, some weeks, extra days, just in case something happens. I have no clue what the hell you're talking about, Snow Carl. Okay, then. I guess we should continue. That just blew my mind, what he just said. Okay. Rob to me $5. What's going on, Rob? Good to see you. He's extremely overjoyed and so excited that today you are playing new releases. Me as well. I love full new release days. So thank you, Rob. Let me get you up on the leaderboard as the top tipper of the day, because you are. Thanks for joining me, and of course, thank you for the support as always, sir. All right. Then let's see here. I got a $2 troll tip that I'm not going to read, but I'm just going to say thank you for the $2 troll tip and add that right to the total there. Let's see here. An anonymous $5 tipper says, I went to the store last night, and they were limiting the amount of stuff you can buy, but they still ran out. Yes, because what you have to understand, I actually talked about this the other day to this anonymous tipper. Thank you for the tip, by the way. Here's what you need to do. You have to go early. I'm sorry if, you don't like getting up early, or, there's no, it's hard to get to the store early. You have to, because they restock overnight. In the morning, like I said, the first 4 or 5 hours the store's open, they're going to have everything. And then what happens is about halfway through the day, the stock starts to get depleted. This is when the idiots start showing up. The morons who don't understand the law of supply and demand, and they think that, like, just because something's low stock today, that it's never coming back, and then they buy everything because they're completely stupid, Like the morons who bought all the hand sanitizer when they're staying home and not going out and don't need it. You know what I mean? That's the mentality of the moron, the common panicking idiot. So, if you go in the morning, you should be able to find all your essentials and you should be okay. If you wait till noon or later, that's when the people are going to start to file in. We're going to start to be more stupid. And they're going to start panicking and panic buying. And then by the end of the day, the store will be empty, So that's just how it is. You got to be careful, and you got to go early. You just have to, because that's when the more normal people will be there to get stuff and stock up and not be assholes. So thank you for the $5 tip. Conway Bloodbank did a 100-bit cheer. He says, do you think you go a day without insulting people? Maybe just ignore them. No. Insulting people is part of my regular regimen. Actually, in reality, it's people insulting me or sneak dissing me. Are they outright, calling me names? No. Are they very much trying to insult me? Of course they are. And I have the right to defend myself and or retaliate. If you have a problem with that, tough shit. Go to someone's, PG stream. If you thought you were at a PG stream, I don't know where you've been the past 11 years, but it certainly wasn't my content. I blame you if you don't know what to expect on my own content at this point. All right, Vero0333 did a 100-bit cheer, and he says, well, the other argument that could be made for digital versus physical games is the matter of legit ownership. I don't fully understand the details, but some discussions I see to mention how only owning a license of a game digitally does not entitle the gamer to full ownership of it, whereas having the physical copy is more of legitimate ownership of the game. This may not matter to some. I think it's an interesting thing to consider. Yeah, Vero, the argument's completely false legally. Anyone who says that has no idea how the actual game licensing laws work, because they never looked into it. I did, and here's how it works. It doesn't matter if you buy it physical or digital, you don't own the game. What you own is a licensing right to access and play that software. Now, it's a gray area determining the lengths by which you can actually use that software. Some argue you could just use it for anything. Some argue it's very limited. It all depends, and it's never been gone to court. And that's why when we say things like content creation, let's plays, live streams, they're a legal gray area. Are they allowed? Are they not allowed? 99.99999% of the time, game companies don't care and let you do whatever they want with their games, as long as it's, not something malicious. So they don't give a shit. But then you got companies like Atlas, who have a game coming out in Persona 5 Scramble, and they're like, you can only stream it with the official streaming software on the PlayStation 4. You may not stream cutscenes. You may not stream this and that. And it's like, but legally, where do you think you have the right to do that? Because it's never been determined in a court of law that just because you sold me a license, you can now tell me how to use that license. See? But that's what you're buying when you buy a video game. You are not actually buying ownership of the game. The ownership of that game is retained by the game company that made that game. Reselling that game physically, all you're doing is reselling the license to use that game. You are not actually physically selling the ownership of that game. Okay? Now, what's incredibly illegal would be to illegally copy and sell copies of that game. That 1,000,000% is illegal, because what you're doing then, you're violating your license agreement. Your license agreement says you only have the right for you alone to play that game when you buy the game. And therefore, if you were to copy and give an illegal copy of that game to anyone else, you are violating the law. But outside of that, everything else is a gray area. All right. But the truth of the matter is, you don't own the game. It doesn't matter if you physically have the game on a disc or you have it digitally on your console or whatever. You don't own the game. The other thing is, maybe this would have been more of an argument in the 1990s and maybe even the early 2000s, when games were contained on the discs and that was it. But ever since the digital era, in order for you to play that game, you've got to install that game on your console. You've got to get tons of day one patches and downloads in order to get the full-on version of that game. That entire argument is moot, because really what you have on that disc isn't even the game. That's some early version, some pre-release version that's not even the final game, and you need to download digitally via a licensing agreement the rest of the game. Therefore, you don't own shit. Okay? And listen, I fully understand the philosophy of ownership, and that I bought it physically, I own it. You don't. And you never did. It's just that people always had this misconception of how it works. And I know that people want, this is my physical game collection. Look at all these games I own. No, look at all these licenses you have, is actually the full truth of the matter. You can't just own that game and do whatever you want with it. So, excuse me. All right, let's continue, guys. Respergu did 100-bit cheer. Says, I agree with DSP. GameStop sells junk. They do. Christopher Columbus cheered, and he says, something racist. Cool. Thank you, Christopher Columbus. And he literally just said the words, something racist. Cousins Ven cheered. He says, are you going to go out more than once every 3 months like normal? Or are you going to go out less than that? I'm going to go out once a week. I have to. I have to go out once a week just to get supplies. The thing is, most of the stores are going to be closed anyway. I'll be going to the grocery store. But outside of that, most other places are going to be closed. Like, it's been announced. That's it. Grocery stores are pretty much the extent of what you're going to find open. Places that sell cleaning supplies, pharmacies, those will be open. Outside of that, you can't go to a restaurant to eat. You can't go to the mall. All the stores will be closed. So where am I going to be going? My days off are essentially going to be going out to the grocery store. And that's about it. So, I guess I'll be spending a lot more time at home with my wife, and trying to find stuff to do together, watching stuff, and maybe even playing games casually on a day off from streaming. Who knows? We'll see, but that's just the reality of life right now. Okay. Retro Jim cheered again. He says, this is a terrible time to get a job. We can't even do background checks or drug screenings where I work because they're closed. That's right. How are you going to get hired when no one can even do any checks on anything? You're not going to. You cannot get a new job right now. Why do you think our government is talking about a giant stimulus to the population? Because no one can get jobs and people are losing their jobs. Duh. SPB tipped me $2. He says, I agree with you 100% on GameStop. I tried to pre-order Animal Crossing and pick it up at GameStop. I couldn't find a way to do it on their website at all. I went to bestbuy.com and found it easily. Are you planning on playing Animal Crossing soon? Tonight. Animal Crossing starts tonight. It's the late stream. Thank you, SPB, for a $2 tip. All right. Continuing on. Wave Ice tipped me $2. Said I was blessed with some money recently, so I thought I'd give some away. Well, thank you, Wave Ice, for that contribution. I appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Alfred Aponte here tipped me $1.30. He says, Phil, when I went at 2 p.m. to shop, people were being hostile and running to buy things like crazy. Like I said, I literally just said this. The morons come out in the afternoon because they think that they can just sit around and wait. Oh, I could casually just go whenever I want. Everything's going to be at my disposal, right? These are the people who think that, like, nothing's changed and the world is fine. Idiots. And, they go out there and they start panic buying everything because they're stupid. If you go early in the morning, you'll be all right. Thank you for the $1 tip. Knows Nobody. To 200-bit cheers. Says, sorry if I sound gay, but I love you, Phil. Well, Knows Nobody. Thank you for the support. Appreciate the positivity. As long as it's not romantic love, That's fine. Thank you. Because I'm not in romantic love with anyone but my wife, and I never will be. So, okay. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. There we go. An anonymous dollar tipper says, you mentioned the other day you watch other streams, saw no difference between theirs and yours. Were they also burping, crushing bottles, and snorting directly into the mic? Yeah. In fact, when I was watching Booger McFartinson, he actually just flicks his boogers at the camera. It's pretty amazing. No, in reality, you know, some of the people that I've been watching are actually, if you can believe it, they do my old style of gameplay. All right? They actually don't even have a webcam. I've been watching 2 or 3 people who don't do webcams. They just do no cam playthroughs on YouTube, and somehow they're still popular. I was told years ago that's not possible. Doing playthroughs with no camera is not possible. Everyone needs a webcam now, right? So for the last 3 years, I fully adopted the whole webcam content creation style, and now I'm finding there are very popular people on YouTube making videos who don't even have webcams, which is hilarious. Some of them, you know what it is, and some of them, I'll be honest, some of them have short videos. Everyone complained that my videos were too short. There's some guys out there that do, 20-minute, 30-minute videos, and they're prospering. I'm telling you guys, it's all the things you've been told about what you need to be successful on YouTube is complete bullshit. All it is conditioning by shitheads who basically wanted to justify the reason why people shit on me. Oh, it's because his videos are too short. Oh, it's because he burps or this. No, the reason is because trolls are fuckheads who latched onto me. They found out there's no way for me to retaliate for their disgusting behavior, and they benefit by making fun of me. That's why. That's why I'm not as popular as I could be, because of the trollish shitheads who hang off my ass like dingleberries, and I can't get them off no matter how much I wipe and scrape. Okay? So, nothing I can do about it, right? But I'm not here to talk about that all day. There's many people who are very popular on YouTube, and they don't have to deal with the shit that I do. By the way, they don't even do half the stuff that I do. But they're still more popular, so there you go. Snow Carl. Cheered again, he says, that's like saying your homeowners association owns your house, not you, though. I think this is just pedantic legalese. You own the game legally. The game company can't win a lawsuit like that ever. Wrong! You don't own the game. Dude, what do you not understand? You don't own the game. You own the rights to play the game. You don't own the game. You can't copy the game. You can't resell the game. Like, for example, if you buy Doom Eternal on a disc, you can't copy the discs and now fucking sell them. It's illegal because you only own a license to the game. You don't own the fucking game. Man. You're 100% wrong on this. Mr. Bravo Vera just cheered, said something religious. Well, there you go. Thank you very much. All right, Cold Zero says, Phil, you big doofus, start the game. Thanks for the insult and the cheer, Cold Zero. Retro Jim cheered and says, are you excited about Animal Crossing tonight? I am. Again, my first experience ever with the new franchise that people, love. People really love the Animal Crossing franchise. And I'm looking for chill games, so this should be fun. Cousins Van cheered, and he says, can't wait for you to play Metal Gear Solid 1 this month. Not this month. I will play it eventually, but not this month. Flea Buckeye cheered. He says, not cool. Booger is a great streamer. You went too far on that one. Maximus Prime SG is subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Maximus Prime, for the subscription. Cousins Van cheered again, and he says, Phil, they would make one 20 to 30-minute video. You make like 15 8-minute videos. You even said your own fans complain. No, actually, my fans did not complain. My fans are not who complain. The whining shitheads complain. The ones who are constantly criticizing me. And, like I said, I knew over the years going longer form videos and all this was not going to have any positive benefit. If anything, it's been the complete opposite. My views plummet and everything because I went to what everyone else wanted. And look what happens. I knew what was best for me on YouTube. People didn't want to listen. They wanted to whine and complain. I changed and it hurt me tons. So I had to become a full-time streamer. Which, by the way, I'm okay with. I love full-time streaming, and I've said many, many times over the years that the full-time streaming is way more fun and, in my opinion, better content than the old-form YouTube videos ever were. But, I knew that all these changes were not necessary, okay? I just knew it. But no, you're saying, I would make 15 8-minute videos. Wrong. If you actually take a look at history there, from the years of 2014, 2015 through like 2017, the last years that I was focusing on being a YouTuber, my videos were usually around 30 minutes long, if not even longer. I was actually going 30 to 45 minutes. And people would still fucking whine and complain. The only things were like fighting games. Fighting games, yeah, I always did like single matches. But outside of that, everything was getting much, much longer. And views were going down because of it. And, profit was going down because of it. But people are shitheads and they don't understand. They just want to whine and complain and stomp their feet. Entitled kids. That's what it is. My fans didn't care. My fans didn't care how long the videos were, how many ads popped up, because they were fans. They supported me. They loved my content. They wanted to see me continue to be successful on YouTube. But, I changed and it is what it is. Now, things are how they are today. I'm happy where things are today as a full-time streamer. So, no sour grapes for me. Albert Aponte tipped me another $1.30 and says, thanks for entertaining us. My school just might extend the lockdown on my hospital classes that have CD a nice day. I lost you. But thank you for the $1 tip. I'm completely lost on what on earth you were saying there. James 7D did a 100-bit cheer. Asking me, how is Wings of Redemption? I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. Actually, there was a hilarious clip someone sent me on Twitter last night. I guess Wings was playing like Dark Souls. And people kept trolling him about me for some reason. So he goes, all right, just ban Darkside Phil and all variations of DSP from the stream chat. And I was like, oh my God, that's the funniest clip. That's the funniest clip. Because someone kept mentioning my name. Ban my name and all variations of my name from his stream chat. I almost shat myself. Oh my God, that guy's a laugh riot sometimes. But anyway, that is it for the shout-outs. Let's now get to saying thank you to those who've cheered this week. We got Lawler Mittens in 10th place, Guitar Player in 9th, Crabcock in 8th. A tie for 5th place between Germanova, Spartan King, and Instaru. 4th place is Mr. Papavera. 3rd place, Cousin Sven. 2nd place, Snow Carl. And 1st place, Cholo Veterano. And then, thank you to the top self gifters of the week as well. We've got Kanye Glover in the cut. Rockfist95, Bagel Goose, and PW Dubs. All of which, gifted a sub. And Hermione, who gifted 2 subs this week. Hermione. All right. Philly Buckeye, thanks for the cheer. I don't give a fuck about what you just said. All right. I think it's time. We're going to take a very brief break because I got to piss. So I'm going to piss. And then when I come back, it's time for Doom Eternal, guys. Thanks for being patient. Thank you for the contribution so far. Reminder, best way to contribute today is by tipping me, so please do if you can. And I'll be back in just a moment with Doom Eternal. Thanks, and see you in a sec.